favorite girl on the rocks, of course, and I'm here in the studio. And guess what, you guys? It is the season finale of season 2, Feed the DJ podcast. And we're actually ending this season how we started the first season with a solo episode with your favorite girl on the rocks, of course. And I wanted to spend this episode talking about just some of the pillars that we have reached here on the podcast that I am so happy about and I couldn't have done without all of you guys out there who listen. Literally, guys, because according to my analytics, like 83% of my listeners are men. So shout outs to y'all. So I wanted to just go over some of those pillars that we've had that really mean a lot to me. I wanted to give you guys some insight on the season finale party that we're going to be having next month in November. It'll be right here at Hub 17. And I really have a main topic for you guys. I don't want to say that yet. I think I'll rip that Band-Aid off when we get there. And season 3 will be here in 2025, you guys. First of all, the fact that we're even saying 2025 is kind of weird, kind of sounds funny. And I noticed that whenever a new year happens, it takes a while for me to adjust. Like when I'm writing down the date, I will probably write 2024 until March of 2025. But either way, I just want to let you guys know that that is what we're planning. And a big reason why I want to just have a little bit of a space in between season 2 and season 3 is because there really wasn't a break in between season 1 and season 2. Like we did season 1, had the party, and immediately jumped into season 2. And I have to say, you guys, season 2, although I had so much fun, I feel like I was not very in control of my podcast in season 2. Like when season 2 came around, it was just so many people who were interested on being in the show, which I was so grateful for. But it was kind of overwhelming at one point. Like we usually do 2 episodes a month, but we ended up having to do 3 episodes a month. You know, I have a booking form that I send to everyone that I either want to be on the show or who reaches out to me. And I realized that that may not work. You know, like giving people the availability and them fitting in their availability and then having multiple guests on every episode. As entertaining as it may seem for you guys, it is quite a doozy for me, I have to say. I really want to be more intentional with the episodes. It is nice to be able to have a mosh posh sometimes, but sometimes that's not really the intention. It's just that was the availability of the guest. And I really want to hone in on the story that we're telling throughout the season. Okay, so season 3, I don't know if I'm going to have a DJ, an artist, and their friend on the episode. I don't think that makes much sense. And these are just, as a host and as the organizer, you have to go back and kind of look at these things and figure out what works and what doesn't. So there's definitely going to be some changes as far as format. I think I definitely want to stick to having 1, at most 2 guests per episode. And those 2 guests either have to coincide together or be one and the same. But I don't know. I feel like I want to be more streamlined with my guests. And it just helps me to be a better interviewer at the same time, right? Because if I'm interviewing 2 people who do 2 totally different things, I constantly think about the listener experience, right? Because it's not just on YouTube, this podcast. It's also for listeners. So I notice that sometimes I'll ask questions of my guests. And it's like, if you're only listening, sometimes you can't differentiate the voices who are talking, even though they introduce themselves at the beginning of the episode. So just little technical things that I've noticed about the show that I definitely want to tweak and change up. And I really want to just start from the beginning. So I'm going to watch every single episode. I'm going to take notes and just really hone in on some of the things I need to change logistically here for the podcast. For season 3, we definitely want to get some sponsors in. We want to get more merch. I'm telling y'all now, there's no reason why I have to scramble and look for an outfit for this podcast if 50% of the guests on the podcast are selling merch to promote whatever project they have. You know what I mean? Like, I should be in everybody's T-shirts. I should be in everybody's sweaters and all that stuff. It should not be this hard. Now, don't get me wrong. I love getting cute for y'all. You feel me? Like, look at me. Look at me. Okay? But for season 3, I definitely want to do more promotion. I want to put people's brands and their businesses out there. That's what this is all about, right? Sharing stories and making a community. And so that's something that I really want to focus on for season 3. So if you guys have merch, reach out to me, send me a DM, send me an email, call me, whatever you got to do. I would love to promote your business and your products here on Feed the DJ podcast. So I also wanted to just say we did what we said we were going to do. I did what I said I was going to do. The show is about DJs, producers, and performers from New York City and beyond. Now, season 2, we started off strong with DJ Tieta, and we had Young Diggs. And, he's from Cali, she's from Brazil. Amazing episode. And that was another episode where I was like, maybe I should just fuse them together. And I really did not like that. Like this, and this is exactly what this show is about. Like the things that you guys as audience members and as listeners and viewers may not notice. But like, that should not have been one episode. It should have been broken up into 2 episodes. But you live and you learn, right? And that's what I have been experiencing here on the show. So we started off strong with them. We actually had an episode where we had a Golden Kong, who is all the way in Brazil. I think he's in Germany now too. But either way, we made it far. We had the last episode, DJ Loa, which she's all the way out in Austin, Texas. As you guys know, season 1, we made it all the way to India. We went to Arizona, California. Like, we are making that reach. And it's all thanks to you guys. So I thank you all, and I love you all so much. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Now, I also wanted to talk about a few analytics here. So I'm just going based off of Spotify right now. So later on down the line, I'll pull all of the stats from all of the different streaming platforms. But right now, we are at a 50-50 mark. Our listeners, this is not just viewers on YouTube, but our listeners, it is a 50-50 split between Spotify and Apple Podcasts, which is crazy. I think that's kind of strange. Like, usually it's like 47 point, but it's a 50-50 right now. Most of our listeners are right here in the United States. And we have India, Dominican Republic, Portugal, Canada, and the United Kingdom. We have some listeners all around the world. So shout out to you guys. Send the show to a friend. Like I was saying earlier, and this is just based off of Spotify, 83.3% of the show listeners are male. I know, like, the DJ scene is male dominated, but my goodness. I mean, sheesh. Also, it says here 16.7% is not specified. So that could be wild animals for all we know. Wild animals supporting the show. I'm here for it. All right. If you're a wild animal and you have a phone and you are able to listen to my podcast, turn up. Let the whole tribe know what's going on. I'm so grateful, no matter if you're man, woman, they, them, she, her, he, him, turn up. You feel me? Like, just keep listening and share the show. And last but not least, this is a really important stat. Most of my listeners are around the same age as me, 23 to 27 years old. So big shout out to that demographic. We have others too. We have the main ages are from 23 to 44. So I'm so happy that I can appeal to different age ranges. And that just goes to show that the show has variety. We're going to be doing a lot more social media. I want to be more consistent on other platforms. I'm not going to lie to you guys, though. Like, being an influencer is a lot of work. There's a million apps that we're all doing the same thing. So sometimes it's just like makes my brain go into overdrive. But every episode, I'm gaining more and more of an audience, and you guys want more and more from the show, and I'm going to provide it to you. I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think season 3 is going to be super special, and you guys definitely tune in. Now, when I say it's going to be starting in 2025, I just want to clarify, it's going to be starting in 2025 January. Like, we're not waiting until the middle of the year to get started. We're ripping that Band-Aid off. We're making our New Year's resolutions for the podcast, and we're going to put them into action immediately. So do not worry. It's not going to be a long wait. And since we have so much time in between now and then, you guys, this is the perfect time to now go back into season 1 and to season 2. Pick your favorite episodes, leave some comments, make sure you subscribe, share it to a friend, and let me know some of the feedback that you're looking for. If there's any DJs in your area that you think need to be on the show, or producers or performers, reach out to me. I will let you know, though, you have to love what you do in order to be on this show. Like, I was just talking about it on Instagram Live, like, yes, the whole point of doing podcasts and putting yourself out there is because you want to gain reach and you want to eventually make this a household name and all of that. But I am a storyteller, and sticking to the stories that matter is important to me. This is not a clout chasing podcast. Like, this is not a flex podcast. I'm a DJ. I do this in real life, and I know that there are things that the audience and the clients do not know, and it's not their job to know, because it's my job to make sure that I do such a good job that they don't notice certain things, you know? And I know how that feels from a stage perspective, a behind the scenes perspective. And so telling stories and learning about the experiences of the nightlife is what this show is about. So, you know, yes, do we want to have a bunch of followers? Of course. We want real followers. People buy followers these days, y'all. All right? So that number of followers really don't matter. It's a matter of how consistent are you? Are you constantly putting out mixes? Are you constantly DJing? Are you busy? Are you booked? Are you networking with other people? Like, these are the things that appeal to me when I'm thinking of who I want on the show. Reach out to me, but please don't send somebody over to me that hasn't even done a gig yet. Like, shout outs to our bedroom DJs. Love y'all. But this is a show for you to gain the confidence to go out there and do this damn thing. So there's a criteria here, and we're going to make it very clear for season 3. All right. So things are going to be changing, but I'm going to still be Girl on the Rocks, and this is still going to be Feed the DJ podcast. We just want to make sure that things are a little tightened up here. So big shout outs to all of our previous guests, and shout out to Indulge NYC. You know, your girl is skinny now. Can't be eating cookies every episode. Sometimes I need a break, you know? But we will have cookies on deck at the season finale party. So with that being said, let's talk about the season finale party before we jump into the main deep topic of this episode, right? So let me just close my little notebook here. Now, the season finale party will be here at Hub 17, not in the studio, because obviously the studio is not big enough to have a big ass party. We're going to have a party up in the event space here at Hub 17. If you're not familiar, Hub 17 is a art gallery. We have an outdoor courtyard. We have our photo and podcast studio. And of course, last but not least, we have our event and theater space. So if you're not familiar with Hub 17, you're crazy. If you are a fan of Feed the DJ podcast and you're not following or familiar with Hub 17, baby, I need you to get with the program, okay? Follow Hub 17 NYC right now, because you could be filming your podcast here. You can be getting headshots done. If you're a visual artist, you can have your artwork on the walls in our gallery. And of course, if you are a performer or if you're a showrunner, we have plenty of space for you guys to bring your ideas to life. We have turned that theater space into an exhibit, movie nights, fashion shows, anything you can think of, we've done it here at Hub 17. So make sure that you guys check it out. So like I was saying, we're going to be having the party up there on November 17th. Okay, you guys? And today I'm literally working on the flyer, working on the Eventbrite link, the whole 9 yards. So it's going to be a whole thing. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have food, drinks. We're going to have merch being sold from some of our previous guests. All of the DJs that will be spinning at the party are from the show. They've been on the show, whether it's season 1 or season 2. We're going to have a bunch of performers too. Right now, I have about like 3 people locked in. Honestly, I only wanted 2 performers. But when you put the bat signal out and they come to you, you got to make the pieces of the puzzle fit, okay? So I really want this event to be engaging. I want there to be a lot of activity. I want it to be high energy. So we're going to have some performances, live performances from some of our previous guests here on the show, and I'm super excited about it. So I'm pulling out all the tricks for this one, and I'm hoping that it's so much bigger than the season 1 finale party. The season 1 finale party was perfect. It was intimate, but it was exactly what I needed to really make me feel like, okay, you know what? We really are doing something good here. So I will be letting you all know about this. I'll be sending out invites. You'll be seeing it on social media because I will be spamming each and every one of you to come on down. The show is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. We're going to be putting out this episode before the party, so definitely listen to this episode. Get all the information. It'll be November 17th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tickets will be online by tomorrow, and I will, put all the pieces together. I mean, everything has been working out in my favor, so you guys stick around for more details on that. Now, segue into our main topic of the day. All right? So, Sober October is the trend right now. Y'all know I'm a trendsetter, if you will, but I'm not with this trend. It is sober life. It is sober for life. At the beginning of October, after a very, very, very busy September, when I tell you guys, I was booking myself like a monster in September. Every day I had a DJ gig, or every day I was hosting something, or every day I was doing something. And I really burnt myself out. So the last few weeks, I actually haven't been filming. I actually had 2 events this month that I had to pass on to other DJs because I physically could not do it. And I think it's important for us to notice that our body is trying to tell us something before it gets to the part where you can't even move. But for a long time, I've always associated rest with weakness because I'm just such a go-getter and I'm so independent. I'm so used to having to do a lot on my own or just be the initiative taker. And so this month I've decided to really take a chill pill. I've decided to take a chill pill. I only have 2 gigs this month. November is filling up though. So November we're back on it. But October I just needed to really focus on my body and that self-care. And we've spoken about self-care on this show before, but it's more than getting your nails done. It's more than getting your hair done. It's more than doing an at-night skincare routine. And I realized that when my body pretty much shut down on me. And so at the beginning of this month, I decided that I don't want to drink hard liquor anymore, and I don't want to partake in recreational gardening, if you know what I mean. So, and I quit cold turkey, you guys. Cold turkey. It wasn't all right, I'm going to just have an L once a day, or I'm just going to smoke to go to sleep. I completely quit cold turkey. Any remnants of any paraphernalia in my home, I threw it in the garbage. There was an epiphany that came over me. I just don't want anything slowing me down or hazing my vision, because I am a visionary. I'm a creator, and there's so much that I want to do. And if there's anything that is going to stop me from getting to that point, I need to remove it from my life. Me taking this step in being sober, it helps me to accept and acknowledge those things. Yes, that was your crutch. You know what I mean? And I don't want any more crutches. I can run and walk full speed all on my own. I don't need anything to help me. I don't need a cane. I don't need no crutches. I don't need a walk. I don't need none of that stuff. And I had to also tell myself, and I actually wrote it down here for you guys. We are, as producers, DJs, and performers, we are surrounded by alcohol and drugs. That's just, sex, drugs, rock and roll, and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I like to think of myself as a rock star, but I want to be a reformed rock star, damn it. I don't want to feel like I have to be inebriated to do a good job. My set won't get better the drunker I am. As much as I want to believe that, that's not the case. You want to know what's going to make your set better? Practicing, preparing, paying attention to your crowd, being present in the moment. There's venues that will offer you shots before they offer you a glass of water. It happens. very often. You know, or you know, as soon as you get off of the ones and twos from doing your set, here goes your friend who has a bump ready for you, or here goes your friend who already rolled up a joint in the bathroom and they're waiting for you outside to smoke. Like, it is just too much. It is too much. And I don't want to be surrounded by that anymore. And now that I'm on day 19 of being 100% free of any of this stuff, it's like my eyes are open and I'm seeing things differently. I have a way bigger appreciation for music. I also noticed, like, the times where I need to practice were the times where I was like, maybe I should go smoke right now. You know, or maybe I should go out and grab a drink. Knowing damn well I have a gig in 2 days that I need to prepare for. I need to organize my music, or I need to clean things up on my Serato. Like, it's just, now there's time to optimize. And when you are using vices, you're not thinking about optimizing your time. You're thinking about, what can I do to get me from point A to point Z without doing anything? Like, just get me to cloud 9. Once I get to cloud 9, my to-do list will be non-existent. Like, it's all about avoidance. And I don't want to avoid what is good for me. Like, I love music. I love being an entertainer, but I know I could do it without harming my own body. Like, at the end of the day, we only have this one body. Like, what? Like, why destroy it? Why destroy it? And I don't want to wait until I'm 40 or 50 years old and fucking collapse on stage like Fat Man Scoop. Like, rest in peace. God bless his soul. I don't want to go out that way. And sometimes people are on the verge of that, and it's scary. It's scary. I've been challenging myself, like, now that I'm no longer sick, because I felt like I had the flu at the beginning of this month. Now I'm starting to think that it was just withdrawals from not drinking and smoking and partying like I usually do. It was just my body, like, trying to adjust. I don't know, but I was, like, down bad. Like, I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. I had fevers. I had the chills. I would be sweating but shivering at the same time. My body was aching to the point where I could not, like, I would literally have to crawl to the bathroom from my bed. Like, it was just so bad. And that tells you something. That tells you something. That tells you that your body is trying to get rid of the weight of using these vices so consistently. It's like, oh, before I do a gig, I have to smoke. And as soon as I get a second off the ones and twos, I have to go outside and smoke. And then at the end of the event, I have to also go outside and smoke. And then when I get home and I put my equipment away, guess what I got to do, y'all? Guess. Right. Okay. So you're catching me? You're hearing what I'm saying? You're grabbing it? Okay, good. So before I came to the studio today, I wanted to kind of, like, look into this online. And it's crazy what I found. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I will actually put some links of some of the articles and the case studies that I found online below. There's this one case study on ScienceDirect.com, and they're not sponsoring us or anything like that. I found this article earlier in the weekend that supports what I'm saying. Like, we are constantly surrounded by drugs and alcohol in the nightlife. Like, that's just what it is. And sometimes it's because, you know, especially in New York City, most of the time DJs have a normal day job. And they're so tired from their normal day job, but they know that they have to do this gig because we have a lifestyle that we want to live. So it's like, let me do this real quick to get my energy back up so that I can be myself for this event, when really you're just causing harm to your own body. But I digress. So this case study, or the title of this case study, is Prevalence of Self-Reported Adverse Effects Associated with Drug Use Amongst Nightclub and Festival Attendees Between 2019 and 2022, which is fairly close. You know, like, a lot of the times you see these things and they're from, like, 1952, which, by the way, the drugs and alcohol situation was so much worse. Luckily, we are in the age of mental health, okay? Mental health is a conversation now. It is a major conversation now. And that's even more of the reason why I feel so comfortable bringing this up, because we need to talk about this. Like, self-care this, self-care that. When do you have time to sleep? When do you get to go to the spa? Like, it's beyond that. What are you doing to take care of your body, like, at the end of the day? And The results of this is actually really crazy. I want to like kind of like skim through, scroll down to the results of what they did. Okay, so the goal of the present study was to develop a more granular understanding of drug-related adverse effects by investigating the prevalence of adverse outcomes beyond only those that result in mortality, hospitalizations, and poisonings. This study focused on people who attend EDM parties at nightclubs and large dance festivals, as drug use is known to be prevalent amongst those attendees. They say here, alcohol, the most prevalent drug, like resulted in the highest proportion of adverse effects, accounting for almost half, 47.6% of adverse effects reported. Alcohol is so bad for you. It doesn't even taste good. I like wine now, exclusively a wine girly, but even then, like, it's like you can't crack open a bottle every day. What are we celebrating at this point? What are we celebrating? We're not celebrating anything. You don't need it to get through your day. Like, you literally do not. You know what you need? A nap. You need a nap. Take a nap. And I know, like I said at the beginning, I always associated rest with weakness. So it's like, take a nap after work, but I just spent 9 or 8 hours working for someone else, and now I only have a short amount of time to do the work that I need for myself. What do you mean take a nap? I get it. I struggle with this all the time. And honestly, the last few weeks when I come home from work, I time myself. I take a little 40-minute nap. Wake up and get on it. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But it's surprising. This may be unsurprising, though, as alcohol is the most prevalent drug in the United States, and the majority of drug-related visits to hospitals in 2021 involved alcohol. In 2019, amongst people aged 18 to 25 in the U.S., an estimated 54.3% consumed alcohol in the past month. Over a third of the people in this age group binge drank in that past month. Like, come on, guys. Come on. And then it's like, you have your social media and your marketing out there that makes it seem cool. And it's just like, it's not. I'm getting older. We're all getting older. We're not getting younger. And I'm letting you guys know now, like, dealing with hangovers is terrible. Like, it is a horrible feeling. It feels like you have a bag of rocks in your brain. You can't hear what people are saying to you. You can't hear your own thoughts. You're shaking. You're hot. You want to eat, but you don't want to eat. It's insane. It's so hard to deal with the after effects of all of this. And that's just talking about alcohol. Cannabis was the second most prevalent drug, accounted for almost a fifth, 19% of the adverse effects reported in this study. Right after that is cocaine. Cocaine was the third most prevalent drug used, according to this case study. And remember, like I said at the beginning of this case study, this is all a case study between the nightclub and festival attendees of a certain age between 2019 and 2022. So, in closing, it is Sober October, and I know that I can do this, but I don't want to go back. Have not yet had a nightclub gig yet sober. Like, this month, I've toned it down. I haven't really done many events just because I'm trying to get my body back and my health back in order. And I'm trying to do it the more natural way, so juicing and being mindful of what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body, staying home and really prioritizing rest and things like that. But I do have some events coming up, and I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I am excited to see how this is going to go. I definitely feel like more and more people are realizing that maybe, you don't need to be completely blacked out in order to get the job done. You know what I mean? So I will put this link in the description below so that if you're interested in possibly going sober, or if you know somebody who is struggling with trying to get sober, here are some case studies for you. And honestly, I went into Google and I typed statistics of DJs with drug and alcohol use. And there's a lot that's coming up here. Famous DJs and drug use is a review on here. Why DJs and ravers are embracing sobriety. I think that is so important, and I skimmed through that one too, but it's just like, you don't need it. And then think about how you feel afterwards. And for most of us, The next day we have another event. So like you don't even have time. You don't even have time to get better or think about what you've done. You have to do it again. And it's like, what are you just going to add on top of the shit that you already have inside of you? It's crazy. Alcohol and drug abuse statistics. Are the big DJs usually high while performing? Yes. Even the small DJs are. I can confirm that. And then, of course, you have your Reddits and things like that. But there's a conversation happening around this topic. And I felt like this is the end of season 2. I have met so many new DJs, performers, and producers. I've had some guests bring in wine or alcohol as like a thank you gift to me, which I appreciate it. And maybe you guys noticed and maybe you didn't, but there were episodes where, you know, we had a couple shots before we got on camera and it was loose. It was getting kind of loose in here. Like, I don't want to be that way. And I want to be a good example for the future generations of this industry and of entertainment. And being a good girl, it looks good on me, y'all. I mean, if you're not watching, then you can't see, but it looks good on me. I mean, everything is tight and right now, okay? And that's because I decided to purge my body of all of these harmful things. And they say it takes 21 days to make something a habit. But I think they also say that it takes like 3 to 4 months to get rid of a bad habit. I don't know. But it's day 19 for your favorite girl on the rocks, and I'm really excited about it. And the funny thing was I was supposed to start on October 1st, but on October 1st, I folded. So I started on October 2nd. Here we are. I feel good. My eyes are open. I'm looking at everything from a wide angle. And I'm looking at this show. We made it to the end of season 2, rather. And we're going to be starting soon for season 3. I'm excited to see what direction the show goes into. Like I said, send me a message. Let me know what you want to see more of on the show. Or maybe if there's something new that you think would be really a cool segment to add or a nice addition to the show. I am all ears. So follow me, Girl on the Rocks. Follow Hub17 NYC. And of course, follow Feed the DJ podcast online. You can follow me on YouTube as well. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where you can find Feed the DJ and my previous shows that I've had. And things are happening. Gears are moving. Changes are being made. Mountains are shifting, okay? If you guys are available on November 17th, make sure you guys come out to the season finale party. It's going to be so much fun. And yeah, your favorite girl on the rocks she's a good girl now. I'm not a bad gal no more, you know? I don't have the desire to go out and party unless I'm being paid to do it. And if I'm being paid to do it, I'm going to do it the right way. And that might mean that I got to go home early, you guys. That might mean that I'm going to do my set and I got to get out of here. Like, I can't be surrounded by certain things anymore. And it feels good to know that I can make those conscious choices. And not because everybody else is doing it. Because it feels good for me. And having peace in my life is super important. And I don't want to wait until I'm 40 to have this revelation. I don't want to wait until something bad happens to me or something health-wise comes up and now it's irreversible. I want to start now. And I hope that I can inspire you to want to live a cleaner and better life and just get rid of those vices because you don't need them. Happy Halloween for everyone who celebrates Halloween. I'm not even thinking about Halloween. I haven't even considered a costume. I wanted to be Lana from Archer, but I have not put any of these pieces together, and at this point, I don't care. I don't care. But I do have some events this month that I'm looking forward to, so I will be seeing you guys all so very soon. Follow me. And I'm checking out. This has been a wonderful season. Go look at some of your favorite episodes. Watch them again. Follow some of our DJ friends, producers, and performers from the show. I don't bite. I just DJ. Girl on the Rocks is out.